We are live from Centennial Ice Arena for the SHL Championship on your home for SHL Hockey, YouTube Live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into this winner-take-all SHL Championship game that features the visiting Glenbrook South Titans taking on the number one seed, New Trier Green Trevians. Alongside Dylan Ward down at ice level and Wes Anderson up here at the broadcast spot with me, I am Max Anderson. And along with our all-star technical crew, we have all the live game action for you here from Wilmette. Wes, as we turn our attention to this game, GBS coming off a thrilling OT semifinal Game 3 victory against GBN to get to this championship game. Meanwhile, New Trier has two things in mind. They've got tonight's SHL Championship and, of course, the state championship coming up on Sunday. Really intriguing storylines across the board.
Max, yeah, you got the two best teams in the SHL all season, two of the best teams in this state going at it for a winner-take-all here on a fine Wednesday night here in Wilmette. Both teams looking smooth. A lot of energy here in warm-ups. Max, you said it. It's going to be a thriller tonight, and I'm excited.
And Wes, as good as New Trier was all season long, compiling a 23-2-2 record in the SHL, GBS was the one team that made them look kind of human throughout the season. They were New Trier was 2-1 against GBS. Both wins, one-goal wins, and the one win for GBS was a 3-0 win. So it's been the one team that's kept pace every step of the way. A lot of that has to do with their goaltending.
Max, you can hardly say that there's a team that can keep up with this New Trier Green team, just how flying they are, but this Titans team can stay with them every step of the way. You talk about the goalies, Lucas Winger and Wyatt Schmidt, two of the top goalies in the SHL, going to face off here tonight.
And for more on how GBS is going to look to capture their first SHL crown, we're going to set it down to ice level where Dylan Ward standing by with Hall of Fame head coach Jimmy Philbin. Dylan.
Thanks, Max. Coach, it's been a historic season for GBS hockey, the number 2 seed, not just in the league, but also the state, also here in your first SHL final. Reflect on how this year's gone.
It's been a great year for the kids. Winning Jamestown was a big step for us in the right direction. In August, we didn't know exactly what we were going to be having with the different kids on our team, but the way they came out in September after training camp, after tryouts, our first tournament of the year playing, New Trier Green in the championship, we really believed in ourselves and we put together a good unit and looking forward to this championship game tonight.
Speaking of New Trier, a 3-0 win earlier in the season. Besides that, you only lost by 1 the other times you played them. What's worked so well against the Trevians?
I think both teams are pretty similar. They've been, both great games. A 3-0 game, at their place was, another great stepping stone for us in the season. I think you have two teams that are disciplined, that play good hockey, that move pucks, get pucks in the net. They crash a lot. Very similar styles. It's going to be which team makes the least amount of mistakes and which team can capitalize on the other team's mistake.
All right, Coach, thank you. Good luck. Max, back up to you.
Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate that down there on ice level. You could tell Jimmy Philbin relaxed, locked in, and ready for this championship game here tonight.
Max, you talk about the legendary coach Jimmy Philbin, somebody who even my career I've had some experience with, and he's a cool, calm, and collected. You're not going to see a lot of movement, a lot of shake out of him in a big game like this. He's had plenty under his belt, and I know he's going to be dialed in here tonight.
A little quick idea of how everybody got here on the GBS side. It was a first round 2-0 series win over St. Viator in the semis. We talked about it earlier, a thrilling OT winner to get them into this championship game, so a 2-1 victory on that side. Meanwhile, for New Trier, it was a first-round sweep of Carmel and then a second-round sweep of Loyola, but that second game in OT, Loyola gave them everything they could handle, as you know Loyola always does with New Trier.
Max, yeah, those famed New Trier Green, Loyola Gold games, and that one really lived up to the bill, and this green team has really been flying ever since that OT win.
And the buzzer sounds, which means it's time for our PA announcement. Stay tuned. We're going to have all the SHL awards here in pregame, along with National Anthem and starting lineups coming up. So we'll turn it over to the public address announcer, Sam Schwartz.
Stevenson Patriots, defenseman Will Harlow. From the New Trinity Green, defenseman Will Cusick. From the St. Cloud Lions, defenseman Sean Wilson. From the Arctics goaltender, Adam Kazmarek. And from the Loyola Ramblers goaltender, Brandon Haney. And now we'd like to recognize the first All-SHL team. Defenseman from the Loyola Ramblers, Ryan Cowan. From the Glenbrook South Titans, defenseman Owen Oldenburg. From the Glenbrook South Titans, forward Zach Polino. This next player was just recently named the J.K. O'Connor Illinois Player of the Year from the Glenbrook North Spartans, Ford Owen Shaw. This player was the leading scorer in the SHL this year from the Stevenson Patriots, forward Thomas Nugent. And the goalie of the year from the Glenbrook South Titans is playing tonight, Lucas Wiener. The coach of the year for the 22-23 season from the York Dukes, Matt Bowen. Handing out the awards today was SHL President Evan Polikinas. And now it's time to meet today's starting lineups. First for the visiting team, the Glenbrook South Titans. At left defense, senior number 18, Grant Logan. At right defense, alternate captain, senior number 68, Owen Oldenburg. At left wing, alternate captain, senior number 44, Jason Pan. At left wing, alternate captain, senior number 27, Nicholas Ventura. At center, big captain, senior number 81, Seth Greenwood. And defending at the Titan goal, senior number 39, Lincoln Swinger. The Glenbrook South Titans are coached by Jimmy Philbin. And now it'll be the starting lineup for the home team tonight. The New Trinity Trojans.
Pre-game festivities wrapping up. Sam Schwartz, as always, helping bring the energy here in the building. It's just a different feel when we get that PA in here.
Max, the viewers can't see it, but both of us are smiling. We love when Sam is in the building. I'm getting all revved up. I feel like I'm about to get between the pipes and play a game whenever he's on the PA. He's got the cartoons going right now, too. Dylan.
Guys, not to mention, he just got his wisdom teeth pulled yesterday and still here at the barn to call this game on PA. Unbelievable.
The Sam Schwartz flu game, as Wes pointed out earlier.
I know Sam would miss this for the world, so I'm glad he was able to, get whatever painkillers he needs or whatever he necessary to get him going today, and he's in the building, and he's going to be firing at all cylinders tonight.
So great pregame festivities we had. One of the ones definitely wanted to touch on, Wes, is, of course, Matt Boeing being the coach of the year for York as they're getting geared up to play a state championship game. I'd assume he's hanging around to watch this, but in the meantime, a huge honor for the second-year head coach of York.
Of course, a little accidentally on purpose that he's accepting that award tonight. A team that's won 3 or 4 SHL championships at the JV level, done a great job of really maturing and bringing a ton of talent to that York team, and we were able to do that game with him the other night where York punched their ticket to the state finals. You could tell the emotion, the passion that he really brings every day to his team, so I'm not surprised that team has gotten as far as they have.
17 minutes up on the clock. One more time here in the SHL, our final SHL network broadcast of the 2022-2023 season. Strap in, everybody. It's going to be a good one. GBS, it's their last game no matter what. Meanwhile, on the opposite side for New Trier, they've got a championship game tonight and another one on Sunday afternoon. Can they make it a double with a nod towards the European Soccer Championships? That's what they're looking to start here tonight.
Yeah, a little tune-up, if you will, for the team in green tonight. That they're going to focus as much as they can on this game, but their ultimate prize is still ahead of them come Sunday in that state championship game.
As it often feels like, we're here at Centennial for a big game, and we are underway as Grant Lochran gets the opening faceoff, and he'll quickly dump it down. Final 51 minutes of SHL hockey right here for you live on the SHL Network. Will Cusick rink wide, leads Finger, just a little bit off target. Freemuth takes over in the neutral zone. Freemuth immediately draws the attention of Joey Rabinowitz, who chips it out, and Furton initially knocks it down, and taking it now is Finger. Furton will drop it deep, and New Trier will go to work on the forecheck. Here's Rabinowitz dropping it deep once more. He was shy of center ice, says the near side linesman, so that's going to be an icing just 40 seconds into the game.
Guys, watch for number 27 white, Nick Ventura, playing on the first line with Zach Freemuth and Jason Band. All season it was Casper Wojcila on that first line, but Jim Philbin has been trusting him at that position, and he's been putting up points with the GBS Stars.
Yeah, it certainly helps when you play with those two guys who've been so electric. You saw their honoring before the game. This chipped in the middle, deflected just outside the crease of Luke Winger, the goaltender of the year here in the SHL. Last year, he was the player of the year for GBS here in the SHL. His final game in a GBS sweater, and what a career it's been for 39 in white. Sherwood, who got the game-winning goal against GBN in overtime, chips that in the neutral zone now. Here's a 2-on-1 for GBS. Wojcila coming down the slot. Shot! And fought off and kicked into the corner by Wyatt Schmidt. First odd man opportunity, but keeping it out is Schmidt. Here's Douthit chipping it towards net, gloved by Holmberg, who missed that championship game because of a one-game suspension as a result of some post-game activities after the semifinal state game. So he missed that game 3. He's back here tonight. Huge defensive piece for GBS.
Yeah, and I know he's going to be looking forward to contribute as much as he can, Max. And we see about a minute and 30 seconds in, both teams with great pace back and forth up and down the ice. We saw Butler Chesson before for New Trier Green with a lot of speed to the neutral zone, and see Wojcila there with a great shot on Wyatt Schmidt. Great right pad save to keep it 0-0 early.
Cheris gets it off the draw, bounces over to Smith, but he whiffs on a shot. Centering pass. Sokol steps in the way of that for the Titans, but kept in by Jason. Shot in on net. Initial save by Winger, still loose side of the net. Hennigan tried to whack it home, but couldn't get a clean shot off, and it'll be taken out of the zone cleanly by Eric Steenstrup. Callahan absorbs a check able to play on, trying to hold possession of the puck here. Stevens. Big windup from Sokol. His shot just wide of the near post. And that looked like it. Oh, no, it did end up staying in. GBS can play on. Looked like that might have bounced out of the playing surface right underneath us. But we'll play on here. Jason able to win it in the corner. Comes away in transition. Leaves for Cheris. Now GBS in a change. Bunch of bodies on the ice, but looks like they were able to finish that change cleanly. This dump down attempt misses everybody. We'll go the length of the ice for icing with 14:26 left in the first.
Yeah, Max, a theme here, especially early, is both teams really trying to assert their offense here the first 2 minutes of this game. Something to keep in mind. Both these goalies, top 5 in both goals against and save percentage here in the SHL, so both teams going to look to get after it early, trying to get as many shots as possible on both nets.
Face off, battling now is Wolf along with Stevens. Chips into the corner to David Wolf. Joining us now on the broadcast, we've got for just a couple of moments here is a centering pass. Winger with a big save. Forward for Glenbrook North and the J.J. O'Connor Illinois Player of the Year, Owen Just, joining us on the broadcast here for a couple minutes. First of all, Owen, congratulations. Obviously got the first team honor. News came out, I believe it was today, that you're the Player of the Year. Obviously hard work over the last 2 years. What did it mean to be honored by the entire state like that?
Thank you so much for having me, first of all. It's an incredible honor. I mean, I don't really have the words to describe what this means to me, what this means to my family. I'd like to thank my coaches for the never-ending support. I mean, they are incredible. They push me to be the best version of myself every time I'm out on the ice, even when I'm not. To my teammates, I don't know if they're at home watching, wherever they are. I'm sure we'd like to be playing in this game right now, but those guys are the best. They're my brothers for life. To my family, to my parents, I love you guys. Thank you for all the support.
Oh, and you rejoined this GBN team. Here's a shot from Nolan wide of the net. You rejoined this GBN team as a junior. You played, I believe, AAA hockey before then, and you wanted to come back and play high school hockey with GBN. What made you want to do that?
I mean, I've heard GBN hockey is always a family, and I never really knew what that was about until I came. I actually came as a sophomore. I played on the team our sophomore year. We lost in the state finals in overtime to New Trier, which was definitely a heartbreaker. And coming back to GBN is really mean everything to me. I've never really got to play with my school friends at home, and just playing in front of a hometown crowd, there's nothing like it.
Oh, and you mentioned it, but obviously tough end of the season a couple of nights ago. But to get this honor here, to really put a cap on your high school career in front of all these people, in front of everybody in the league, what's your experience here in the SHL been like?
I mean, it's incredible. This league is so amazing. I'd like to thank my coach, Evan Poulikitis, for setting it all up. He's amazing. Every time we step on the ice in this league, you got to compete. Whichever team shows up is going to win the game. It doesn't matter if you're seated 10th or 1st. That's how competitive this league is. So it's been an honor playing in this league, and I'll definitely continue to follow it over the years.
Well, you've left a huge legacy here in the SHL with your play over the last couple of years. Best of luck to you in the future, and hopefully wherever you are next year, you're tuning into the SHL Network.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's your J.J. O'Connor Illinois Player of the Year, Owen Just. Kind enough to join us for a couple of minutes here on the network. It was certainly, Wes, I know I can speak for both of us when I say how fun it was to watch him over the last couple of years.
Oh, 100%, Max. And such a humble kid. You hear him talking about his teammates, his coach. Knows he can't be that successful without everybody and all the help that he gets. And like you said before, it was a pleasure watching him over these years. So
Joey Rabinowitz trying to get the action moving here for New Trier on a big hit as he put Jason Bann in the ice. You saw while we were talking. 2-0 and just a crazy bounce off the stanchion as Wyatt Schmidt went to go play a wraparound. It hits one of the stanchions here and almost went right into the net. Shades of a deflection for the Blackhawks about a decade ago now.
Yeah, Max, such a helpless feeling if you're a goalie seeing that puck trickle to that open net. You have to scramble back, but good on Wyatt Schmidt to steer that wide.
Ventura's shot on net deflected wide by Freemuth. GBS trying to put some pressure on and find the first goal of the game. Allenberg from the top of the circle. Shot bounces a couple of different directions. Eventually deflects into the corner. This puck going the length of the ice for icing with 11:05 left in the first.
Guys, kind of interesting about Centennial Ice Rink here in Wilmette. This is actually a New Trier home rink. They've got their logo down there on the ice, but it's primarily used by their other teams besides New Trier Green. It's actually the first time the Trevians have played a home game in the SHL at this barn.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Dylan, but I've always associated in my head this barn as New Trier's home rink. Of course, we've done enough New Trier Loyola games in this rink. Of the championship of the Thanksgiving tournament's always here, so really become accustomed to seeing New Trier play here. But you're right, it is unusual to see them play in this barn. They, of course, played in that Thanksgiving championship game, but good to be back here at Centennial.
Funny enough, the only SHL game here at Centennial was the North-South game back in November.
Yeah, Dylan, you say that. I was thinking that the South is usually accustomed to seeing a different team wearing green on this ice. We know that that great pre-Thanksgiving game between North and South that's played here. You talk about the fans. It's just ruckus.
Wojula wins a battle below the goal, and a shot from the point by Vanderput blocked. Tyler Smith coming up the ice has Cheris trailing. Shot from Smith just over the crossbar. Now bodies come together along the near half wall. Still whacking away at it. Baker trying to keep it in the zone for the Trevians. Able to play it up to Cheris. Cross-ice pass, but waiting for in the high slot was Sherwood for GBS. Another shot that misses the cage wide. Fast-moving first period here. Already 7 minutes gone in this SHL championship game. Randall just keeps that in, and Winger, a little bit of trouble handling it, deflects it to the far half wall. Nolan leaves below the goal line, but eventually Sokol collects for the Titans and takes it out of the zone. With speed comes Steenstrup. Stevens was almost offsides. Centering pass from Steenstrup, but no Titan stick could be on the other end of it. From the shot point by Lochran. Knocked down in front, and Nolan takes it away for New Trier. Here's Randall. Randall will just drop it deep and give Miller and Nolan a chance on the forecheck. Furton comes to support along the far half wall in front of the GBS bench. Still trying to scoop it out of the zone. Eventually does and hits the linesman, or that might have gone for an icing for GBS.
Max, both teams doing a great job being able to break the puck out of their zone the last 2 minutes.
You can see why these two teams are at this point. Freemuth across the slot, shoots high, big save by Schmidt. Another follow-up shot gets deflected wide of the net. Miller collects, but the first really high-quality save there by Schmidt. He had to stay vertical.
Sometimes you got to use your head to make a save. Schmidt stays with great positioning there, takes one off the helmet, able to keep it 0-0.
Not many whistles thus far. We're flying up and down the ice here as we get started at Centennial. Centering pass, takes an awkward bounce, falls to Rabinowitz, big windup, deflected wide, and Winger had to make a quick right pad save to keep us scoreless.
Max, you say not a lot of whistles. Both goalies doing a great job of rebound control, allowing their defensemen to clear pucks easy. It's preventing those usual stoppages and plays that we see as we get an icing here.
You get an icing, but you talk about when, as a goaltender, you can dictate play like that. If you're constantly having to freeze and yield defensive zone draws, Wes, you know as well as anybody, eventually a good possession team, whether it be New Trier or GBS, they're going to get goals.
Yeah, Max, the worst thing you want to do is keep giving that opposing team an offensive zone face-off, as we see GBS will get one here. But yeah, just keep the puck moving as much as you can. Allow your forwards or your defensemen to have kind of that natural breakout. Makes it a lot easier on them to get the puck out of the zone.
Stretch pass, Douthit with a shot just over the crossbar. Good lob pass there all the way down ice, over 3 or 4 lines. Fell right to the stick of Douthit, and he narrowly missed the first goal of the game. Centering pass from Douthit, taken by Furton, but his shot block never got all the way through. This pass attempt is Sherwood and Douthit get tied up in the neutral zone. Makes it all the way below Schmidt's goal. This stretch pass misses everybody.
Close game so far, guys. You were just talking about it. New Trier with the lead in shots, 5-4 at this point.
Yeah, Dylan, not surprised there. GBS, for I would say the second 4 minutes of the beginning of this period, did a great job of asserting themselves here in the offensive zone, made life really difficult for this New Trier Trevians defense, but right back at it. You talk about why these teams are so good. New Trier rebounds quick, a few good shots on Winger there, forced him to make a good left pad save, and again, the goalies are stellar early, guys.
You know, we talk a lot about us on this network, the importance of getting shots on net, but you could see both teams from the points are trying to whip pucks in on goal, but if they're not finding shooting lanes, we've got at least 10 block shots total between both teams.
Yeah, Max, both teams doing the little things. That's why they're such great teams in both regards. They're dedicated to getting those shooting lanes, blocking shots, helping their goaltender out when need be.
They're going to have to work to score on these two goaltenders. Not going to be any flukes here tonight, I don't believe. Here's Lockerin. Plays around his own goal with under 7 to go. This dump down deep as Cusick collects. Falls to the stick at Jason, whose stretch pass taken away by Sokol in the neutral zone. Steenstrup catches up with it. He'll chip it back down. That misses everybody. Icing waved as Jason was in the vicinity.
Yeah, second time we've seen New Trier trying to stretch that ice, trying to extend those defensemen back, almost like that old two-line pass that used to get called in the NHL.
See the way GBS collapses in the defensive zone, making sure nothing given up towards the goaltender. Sharp angle shot from Jason Ban, who's playing in his last high school hockey game. Of course, he'll continue on as a key member of the Titan baseball team.
Not just that, but also the Division I NCAA Davidson baseball team as a left-handed pitcher.
So bright future ahead for that young man who's had just an incredible career in a GBS jersey, part of this really historic run that the Titans have had over the last 2 or 3 seasons. I think they certainly felt like it could have ended down at the United Center, but a great second place for them would be if they can find a way to knock off this New Trier team one more time and win the SHL championship.
Max, I was going to say, if you can't win the state championship, I think the second best thing is to win the SHL.
And knee there from Randall takes out Freemuth as he entered the zone. No call. Here's
you go, Max. We're getting a little mixed up here as Winger makes a great save.
I always feel bad when I cut Wes Anderson off while he's in the middle of a good thought, but go ahead and finish.
No, you're all right. But like you said, we talk about Jason Ben. You see a lot of jump off that last play. Brings the puck up the left side, and you talk about if a team can't make it all the way to state, you have to climb that ladder. So many great teams here in Illinois. Winning the SHL is the second best thing, in my opinion, in high school hockey here in this great state that produces so many great hockey players.
Band's able to get this out into the neutral zone where Nick Ventura fires it deep. GBS getting 4 fresh bodies on the ice here. Here's Cusick. Finds Furton. Furton pulls it to his backhand. Now at a sharp angle, well over the netminder into the netting. You talk about New Trier, whose last game was played a week ago tonight. And, of course, they've got the state championship coming up in 5 days. Maybe not ideal to play an SHL final in between, but I'm sure, and I even spoke with Coach Sheriff between, he didn't mind having to play a game. He said almost 11, 12 days can be a lot between skates and a competitive game.
Max, it's hard to replicate that game speed in practice. It's not ideal to have to play a championship game before you play for the state title, but these kids are locked in. They want it just as bad as if this was their last game of the season or if they were still, competing in the Elite 8 of the state championship. So don't expect this New Trier Green team to just roll over and die here if they get down. These kids still want to be SHL championship champions.
Sorry to cut you off, Wes. Also, major bragging rights to be both the current SHL champions and the state champions, something that surprisingly doesn't happen all too often.
Yeah, you talk about the Triple Crown, so to speak, the regular season champs, the SHL playoff champs, and the state champs, something that these Trevians definitely have on their mind.
That would certainly leave a legacy for this senior in first class for head coach Adam Cheris. Took over for Bob Belton after more than 20 seasons at the helm at New Trier. He's kept this machine rolling along here for the Trevians.
Guys, not to mention also the preseason invitational tournament champions, the Loyola Thanksgiving tournament champions. New Trier, just what a season for them.
Yep, they've got 2 more opportunities, one tonight and one Sunday, to do something pretty legendary. And we'll have to go back and check, but I don't believe it's happened in the SHL era. Here's a turnover to Chesson. He scores! Butler Chesson gets the turnover, wide open in the slot. And he buries it, makes it 1-0 Trevians.
Max, you talk about it's going to be hard to beat both these goalies. A little just harmless turnover right in the slot. And check the game notes. You can't leave number 8 in front. He's going to bury that 9 times out of 10, and he just picks his corner. The winger just left out to dry there.
So with 4:23 remaining in the first period, The Trevians draw first blood, and this isn't exactly a north-south sellout here at Centennial, but a really good crowd for a Wednesday night. Ventura, wrap around, nets off its post. They're going to play on here for the moment. I don't think anybody on the ice. Finally, the referee had seen enough, and he'll blow the whistle. So an unassisted goal for Butler Chesson. He had 6 goals in the regular season. Of course, missed about a month and a half, 2 months with a concussion, and it's been great to see him back. They certainly missed him. He's added another offensive element here for the Trevians as Nolan tries to drag around one defenseman. Owen Almberg has just been such a defensive stalwart all season long. He's always matched up against the opposition's top line. Another guy that's had an outstanding career for the Titans over the last 3 varsity seasons.
Max, yeah, you talk about Butler Chesson coming back after injury. That's almost like in the deadline acquisition. If you're in the professional ranks there, he just brings so much offense, so much energy to his game. It's such a boost to this New Trier team night in and night out.
Wojula trying to get some possession below the New Trier goal line, but he's quickly cut off. This shot taken in the chest by Kitchell Snow, and he'll calmly clear the zone.
Get Kitchell Snow some ice. That looked like that guy got him right in the stomach, but he's going to stay on the ice and try and muck it up here in the neutral zone.
Douthit collects below his goal line with 3 minutes remaining here in the first period. Cusick looks. That's played by the high stick of Mulvey, but we'll play on. Here's Chesson getting it right as he entered the zone. Shot! Pad save. Bounces out right into the slot, but quickly the Titans defense erases it. Wojula in transition. Goes cross ice. Centering pass just a little behind Wojula. Follow up from Mulvey. That's deflected and just misses the net. Stretch pass is Douthit sprawls just to get a piece of it, so New Trier wouldn't yield an icing.
Max, you talk about the shot blocks. Butler Chesson, what a great back check. Gets a stick on that last attempt, blocking it wide of the New Trier goal, preventing a great scoring opportunity, helping his goalie out once again here in this game.
Burton's cross-ice pass intended for Finger gets intercepted by Stevens in the neutral zone. Taking a huge hit right in front of the New Trier bench was Steenstrup as he let go of the puck. Shenton collects for the Trevians, goes hard off the glass, back out into the neutral zone. Now Sam Shenton turns it over, shot in on Schmidt, waiting on the doorstep, trying to get a deflection with Stevens, but got cleanly through to Schmidt. Offensive zone draw coming for the Titans.
Max, we see the puck bouncing quite a bit here early on in this first period. Something to keep in mind as the temperature did rise quite a bit over the course of the day. That humidity that once it gets in the rinks can make the ice quite choppy. So you see that puck bouncing a little bit more than it normally would if it was given, say, like January 1st, 2nd, around there, a time when it's a little bit colder. So something to keep in mind if you're both teams. Got to play a little bit smarter, pass the puck a little bit harder, make a little bit more sure plays on their near boards, and just something to keep in mind as this game goes forward.
1:40 to go here in the first period. Here's a shot. Joey Rabinowitz calmly just sticks his stick right in the way of Jason Band, so it deflects up into the netting and out of play.
Looks like our goal cam behind Wyatt Schmidt almost got the bad end of the stick.
That was a close call there, Jimmy. I looked back and I thought Jimmy was about to have a heart attack.
Again, the Trevians, though, sticks in shooting lanes. It's the 3rd or 4th time in the last 2 minutes that we've seen that.
Shot from Sokol, hits his own man, turns it over, Finger the other way. Centering pass falls to Furton. Follow-up shot, McAdams, big save, Winger. And cleared to the side by Stevens, eventually chipped down to the neutral zone where Jason Ban waits for it. Ban chips it by Rabinowitz, lowers the shoulder. Taps it past Cusick. He's waiting for some support as the rest of his teammates were in a change. Gets it back to Almberg. His shot, gloved by Schmidt, but that was headed wide of the net.
Max, you talk about how hard it's going to beat these goaltenders. It seems like the Titan game plan is to drive wide, get that puck in deep, shoot it up to the point, and try and get some traffic in front of Wyatt. As we see, Lucas Winger go full splits there, almost a la Jonathan Quick, and another great left or right pad save, to keep his team only down 1.
It was then eventually the shot of McAdams that was the most dangerous one, but there's a man wide open in the slot. If it weren't for the stick of Adrian Sokol tying it up, could have led to another goal from Trier. Turning and firing from Mulvey, but just wide of the net. Schmidt hugs that near post, and it's chipped out into the neutral zone with 40 seconds to go. Almberg collects. He'll reverse flow around to the opposite side to his D-man Loughran. Again, takes a weird bounce, falls to Miller. Wolf trying to create some space. Loughran blocks the shot in on net. Sherwood was trying one more chance up the ice for the Titans here at the end of the period. Instead, Will Cusick jumps into the offensive play, goes along Loughran, backhanded shot, scramble in the crease, still loose. Whacking away at it was Miller, and eventually we get a whistle.
Max, the Titans are going to be happy to go into this intermission only down 1. We see another bad turnover, almost like a hapless turnover in front of Winger that leads to this opportunity. He holds that post well, doesn't let that puck slip under his pad. He's made a few great saves here in this first period. No surprise that the first team all SHL goaltender is standing on his head here again tonight.
So final 4 seconds here. New Trier's going to try to put something quickly on net. Tied up. Douthit centering pass. They score! No, they're going to wave it. The near side referee waves his arms immediately. Will Cusick doesn't like the call. They're going to say, I believe that the goal was knocked off its post. I don't know. In real time, I thought it was good, Wes. Let's take a look here. Well, the goal was free first, but no shortage of controversy with Luke Winger net. We'll take a timeout. Don't go anywhere. We have a special announcement in just a moment right here on the SHL Network. 1-0 the score after 1. Welcome back here on the SHL Network, final SHL Network broadcast of the season. Want to take this moment to thank everybody at home for this entire season. As many of you know and was announced on Instagram, J&M Media was awarded the coverage for the state championship games at the United Center. Folks, point blankly, we don't do these broadcasts on Sunday without your great support at home for the SHL Network all season long. Thank you so much for everything all season. And we'll talk to you at Sunday starting at 11 a.m. with the Girls State Championship combined at 1 and Red Varsity at 3:30. Thanks again. We'll talk to you more here in a minute and, of course, on Sunday. Back live with second period action here from Centennial Ice Arena. The SHL Championship, a one-game championship this year due to scheduling constraints, but we are certainly happy to have it here on the SHL Network live from Centennial Ice Arena. Dylan Ward down at ice level. Wes Anderson up here with me. Max Anderson, your play-by-play broadcaster for this SHL Championship. So a first period goal, it was a turnover Picked off by Butler Chesson like a cornerback going the other way who buried his breakaway chance. Freemuth stops, shoots, big save by Schmidt. Able to collect that just 36 seconds into the period.
Guys, just a quick official update on that goal that didn't count. I didn't know if you guys talked about it, but the official ruling is that time ran out.
Ooh, that is not the ruling I think I would have made. I wasn't even considering that, Dylan. The goal did come off its post right before the puck did go in. That's what I assumed was the call.
Max,
in real time, I did not think time had expired.
We're not going to kill the messenger. Dylan, thank you for that great work down there. And Max, I'd have to agree with you on that second replay. It looked like there was about a fourth of a second left on the clock, but we're not the one in the striped jerseys on the ice, so we're going to play on.
In fact, actually, we'll stop as a penalty is called against GBS. Roughing the call is New Trier is going to get their chance on the power play first.
Max, I heard you talk about that Butler Chesson goal as like a cornerback. I think that free agency market in the Bears has got you excited. I know we're still in hockey season, but Ryan Poles has made some good moves so far for the monster of the Midway, and
certainly,
I know
certainly feeling good about it. I'm a believer. I'm a Poles believer. I feel like he's doing it the right way. I'm certainly excited at some of the weapons that are starting to be surrounded in Justin Fields. We'll see how that materializes over the next few weeks. Here's a shot from Chesson, and Winger gloves it, but Wes, you see right there, Chesson just that extra beat of a moment where he pauses, draws a defender, finds a shooting leg. The patience, the skill of Butler Chesson.
and the great hockey awareness to let his guys get in front of Winger to set up some kind of traffic. Just great hockey all around from Chesson and Winger, not giving up a rebound there on top of his crease. Chesson waiting for that play to materials, like you say, that the patience.
Douthit, Chesson, quick tic-tac-toe passing, couldn't get through. Shot from Cusick, deflects into the corner. Douthit back up to Cusick, gets it right back top of the near circle. Cross ice, Chesson, back up Cusick. Quick passing into the slot. Here's Snow, but has his angle cut off by Elmberg. And Cusick able to keep it in at the blue line. Now Douthit circles with 1:20 left on the power play, looking for a lane. Shoots that one just over the crossbar. Side of that trying to stuff it home are the Trevians, eventually cleared down ice. Minute 10 left to go on the power play.
Max, Cusick, Douthit, and Chesson with the puck on a string. Snapping it quicker than I can even see the puck going back and forth. If I'm GBS, I'm going to work, doing my homework, trying to eliminate those cross-ice passes here on the PK.
Here's Chesson. Stops, clears some space, goes up top Cusick. Cusick shot blocked out in front by Sherwood. Scrambling to try to get it out Lochran. Douthit beats him to it. Douthit towards the center of the ice, high slot, leaves for Chesson. In close, his shot swallowed up by Winger with 40 to go on the power play.
Max, what a save by 39 and White. He's holding that post, expecting Chesson to go high. You see he goes down at the last minute. He pushes off to make that right shoulder look big, able to freeze that puck right in that right arm area where it meets his body. Another great save by the first SHL goalie of the year.
Goalie of the year, yeah, there you go. Here's a shot, backdoor Cheris. He would have been on his backhand. He might have had a wide open cage. Cheris skates the middle. His shot deflects out in front by Ventura. Holmberg with 20 to go on the penalty kill, trying to clear it. Just in the nick of time is Nolan. He leaves for Smith. Smith's shot deflects in front, hops over the stick of Miller below the goal. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Jason. His stick can't keep that in the zone for the Trevians. And that will do it for the power play. Back to full strength as GBS. And that is one area. GBS tied for the first in the SHL in the penalty kill at 88.5% on the season. They were very good killing off penalties all season long.
Max only giving up 9 power play goals all season and 78 attempts. It's remarkable. Just clicking at under 90% on the PK, something that gives this team a lot of confidence, especially in big games like this.
Here's McAdams trying to carry it out of his zone, turns it over to Wojula, who takes a hit but gets it to Freemuth, turns, fires, backdoor was banned but never got all the way through. Sokol cheats up from defensive spot to keep the action going, but eventually falls the stick of Furton, who chips it out into the neutral zone.
What a pass by Wojula on his back there. A little Alexander Ovechkin-esque against the Phoenix Coyotes in 2005.
And talk about taking a hit to make a play. That certainly was the case right there for Kasper Wojula. Finger gloves it just outside the offensive zone. He'll carry it in deep. He's got Vanderplug all over him. Furton able to win it. Has a man coming up the slot in Chesson, but Furton's pass just a little bit behind. Now Ban with speed up the left wing. Good stick by Rabinowitz to slow down 44's charge into the offensive zone. Drops to Sokol, whips it towards net. Just, I believe, off the handle of the stick of Schmidt. I'm not sure that would have gone in, but it certainly would have been close.
Max, I don't even think he ever saw that until it hit his stick.
Now a turnover. Here's a shot from Snow. Huge save from Winger.
And look where he is, right on top of his crease. Goes and gives his defenseman a hug, almost to say no harm, no foul, but tracking that all the way, no rebound, able to cover that immediately. He is dialed in tonight, Max, making a few great saves, especially in the first period.
Right off the draw, trickles its way into the glove of Winger. We'll do it all over again, right of the GBS net.
As the New True faithful to our right start getting into it a little bit. It's like you said, a great crowd here for a Wednesday night.
Wojula able to take it off the draw. Here's Sherwood through the neutral zone. He's checked off the puck by Randall, but able to win it back. Centering pass. Goes off the pads of Schmidt. Deflects wide. Leads a breakout for Douthit. Douthit's shot nowhere near the cage. Randall trying to keep it in. Pinned right here up against us. Just falls out of the zone as Wojula takes over for the Titans. Coming in hot over there by Dylan Ward. Now a backhanded sprawling chance from Douthit. A big save. The New Trier bench wanted a hooking call. They're not going to get it. Dylan, we doing all right down there?
Yeah, nearly took a Jack Mulvey stick right to the face.
Got to look alive down there, Dylan.
Wes can give you all the tips on that. I know Wes spends a lot of time down there on the bench side for us.
What's funny is I thought these benches were huge, but really I'm standing in the penalty box right now. There's nothing separating the bench from the penalty box. Players are sitting in what's technically the box on both sides.
Definitely one of the weird quirks of the Centennial Ice Rink is all you really have to do, well, technically you have to leave the penalty box, but in theory you could just kind of slide over. It's that connected down there.
That's the beauty of high school hockey, too. And Dylan, like, maybe we need to get you a helmet or something so you don't get hurt. I know it could get a little tight down there in the penalty box.
One of the helmets that the photographers wear.
Yeah, we saw that at...
we got it again here tonight.
We saw that at the Edge last week. We see it down there. You had the GBS penalty box as well. So, Dylan, maybe for next year we'll invest in some protective gear for the sideline guy.
Hey, if the coaches do it without a helmet, I think I can too.
There we go.
Here's a centering pass. Just misses, but if there's anybody that should be paying attention to the action down on the ice, it's our sideline guy, so I have good faith. Here's 11 minutes left here in the second. Steenstrup trying to dig the puck out of the corner. He's got Callahan there trying to help him. Eventually chipped out back into center ice. Falls to Steenstrup with some space up the left wing. His shot calmly gloved by Schmidt with 10:33 left here in the second.
Yeah, going back down to our sideline guy, Dylan, not sure if you can hear me, but it seems like New Trier's really controlled the first 7 minutes of this period. I'd be curious to know what the shot totals are right now, in case you can see that. Get back to me in a second, Dylan.
Now, usually we're live on Game Sheet, not here at Centennial, unfortunately. That's one of the perks of having our sideline guy, Dylan Ward, down there.
Yeah, guys, New Trier lead shots 7-11 in the game, 6-4 here in the second period.
It's a little bit closer than I thought. GBS giving a good push back here in the last few minutes.
That was the first shot in on Schmidt we've had in quite some time, West, to your point. Here's Smith cutting through the defense, and at the last second, Sokol gets his stick in the way. Deflects it up into the netting. Offensive zone draw for New Trier.
This New Trier, we've seen a few nifty moves by this New Trier offense, but to caveat that, this GBS team took a few great sticks to just direct these pucks away from Winger, who's been stellar as well.
10:18 left to go in the second. It's the game-winning goal scorer from the state semifinal game, Brendan Hennigan, in the face-off draw for New Trier. Falls to Snow. Big save from Winger. Puck still loose. Eventually, Winger has to quickly drop his glove behind him to keep the second goal out for New Trier.
Yeah, Max, we see Tyler Smith throw his hands in the air, but that didn't look anywhere close to crossing the line. Well, takes a weird bounce off the left pad, but Winger knows immediately it's behind him. Talk about being a great goalie, just know where the puck is at all times, even if that does trickle behind you, able to just fall on it quick before it goes across the line.
Clean win by Hennigan, gets back to Jason. That one missed the crossbar by inches. Along the far half wall, exchanging the puck. Cheris trying to get possession. Now Wojula tying up a stick, eventually comes to Hennigan. His shot into the glove of Winger.
Max, this Titans team is going to have to do a better job of closing out on that weak side D-man. When that puck's coming to the point, New Trier is quickly snapping over that weak side D who's walking in and basically just teeing off on Winger. We've seen a few times, you just mentioned, that puck misses the net. Eventually, that's going to lead to higher scoring opportunities and higher scoring chances. So something from the GBS side if you want to eliminate going forward.
Finger leaves for Cusick, who's just going to drop it deep. McAdams trying to dig it out below the goal. He does. He's got Freemuth pulling on his arms. Eventually Finger trying to take over. GBS relentless, trying to keep action outside. Here's a shot, trying to maybe even chip it off the back of Winger. Was Furton, but turned away. On comes Freemuth. Freemuth draws below the goal line to his backhand. He'll stop, take a check from Cusick. Still battling with the captain defenseman for New Trier. Eventually chipping out. With speed comes Finger, and quickly has the puck taken off his stick by Lochran. Cusick takes a moment, and he'll play up his near boards to Furton, but no further than that. Now Jason Band racing, trying to create some offense for the Titans. Chesson takes over. On comes the captain for New Trier. He draws patiently, backhanded, centering pass, falls to Douthit, shoots, deflected. And a big save by Winger. Again, Lochran. He tries to play it hard off the boards. A huge hit from Cusick, and that's going to be a penalty against the New Trier captain, elbowing the call.
Yeah, looks like he just got up a little bit too high there with the hit. He's going to go for an elbow, and GBS can have a great opportunity here with 8:24 left in the second period to get on the board. You see them going back to their goalie, giving him some love taps, knowing that he's kept them in this game. Lucas Winger making a few great saves. They're going to get an offensive zone opportunity, up a man. You know, Coach Philbin's going to draw something up there on the bench, trying to get some more shots on Wyatt Smith down there to our left, and got an exciting 2 minutes here. And Max, a little pushback here from GBS to really tie these things up.
So as good as New Trier has been all season long at pretty much everything we detailed earlier in the broadcast, New Trier sitting at just 6th in the penalty kill area here in the SHL. So there's one thing that head coach Adam Cheris can still find to dig on his team is kill a few more penalties. We'll see how they do here. Band leaves below the goal to Ventura. Back to the point, Almberg. Band right back to Almberg, swings it across to Lochran. Lochran leaves for Freemuth. All the way back around to Almberg. Everything on the perimeter right now for the Titans. Good puck movement, nothing towards the middle of the ice. Ventura chips it back to the point, Lochran. He spins it towards the center of the ice, but well wide of the Trevians net. Almberg again to Lochran. Quick closeout from Miller. Had it a deflection to the near half wall and cleared by Randall.
Yeah, Max just a little bit too patient for these Titans. Got to get a little bit more aggressive there with the man advantage. Like you said, everything's just to the outside. I'd love to see them try and force something maybe through the cross seam. They are up one man, so they're able to retrieve that puck a little bit easier if it was just 5-on-5.
40 seconds remaining on the power play for GBS. Not much going towards net. Good possession. Not many chances to show forward. Here's Sherwood. His shot off the shin pads of Snow and chipped out by Shunton. Schmidt buys some time, trying to create a lane for his defenseman, and does. One more opportunity. Quick one coming if Allenberg hurries.
Max, I think Adam Charis heard you. This is aggressive PK by the Trevians. Just no time and space for this Titans team to operate.
Chipping past one man. Sherwood right at the end of the power play as the fifth skater came back on for New Trier, but easy glove save for Schmidt.
Max, you mentioned that if there's one thing to work on for this Trevians team, it's the PK. You hear down to our right a little bit that these fans, they might know it too. You keep hearing good kill, good kill, good kill. These fans are just locked in if this was the state championship. So something great to see here in the Centennial Ice Rink.
Knowledgeable fans on the Trevian side. They certainly know their hockey here. 6:15 left here in the second period. A big hit, able to absorb it with Shenton and play on. Here's Tyler Smith coming up the ice. Has the puck taken off his stick. He had a puck just sitting there on the doorstep.
I think why Schmidt was surprised that puck was just laying there too. He was able to hold that post while not allowing any opportunity to cross the crease either.
Sokol gets it back deep once again. This is chipped all the way down ice. Icing the call. GBS with an offensive zone draw to come.
Yeah, Max still in a little bit of a lull in the game here. Both teams still trying to figure each other out just a little bit. Good push by New Trier earlier in this first period. GBS with the opportunity to tie things up, but that tenacious PK by the Trevians keeps this game 1-0.
Yeah, GBS especially used to some low-scoring games. I think it was 4 out of their 5 last regular season games. The total goal count for them and their opponent was under 3, or 3 or less, I should say.
That was the recipe all season long for this GBS team. They played really good defense, opportunistic offensively with guys like Freemuth and Ban. And obviously, the goaltender they've had in net the last couple of years, Luke Winger, unless we've talked about it off air, as good as I've seen in the 7 years covering this league.
Max, I was going to say, you can only operate at that pace if you have a goalie who can keep the puck out as well as he can.
Guys, not to mention in the sweep of St. Viator, they only required 3 goals in those 2 games, the 2-1 overtime win and the 1-0 overtime win.
Here's Will Cusick. Captain, rink wide to Finger. Outside the near dot here. Bouncing around Butler Chesson trying to play it forward. Freemuth trying to play it out along the boards. Kicked and saved by Cusick. Good stick lift from Finger to keep it alive for the Trevians. Now Freemuth turns it over. Shot from Chesson, deflects wide of the net. Kitchell Snow gets it below the goal line of Winger. From a sharp angle, Douthit swings it up top, Cusick. New Trier wants a cross check. They're not going to get it as GBS can be able to clear. Good little stick play there from Band into the offensive zone. Sharp angle shot blocked by Randall. Chipped, and that's well out of the rink with 3:33 left in the second period.
I'm laughing. I don't know if all the fans know at home the old great Eddie Olczyk with the tree. Max, I couldn't do it. I don't think we've ever had one on the broadcast, so I'm glad you threw that up there.
Couldn't do it.
I've pulled it every now and again. One of my favorites is Make a Wish when there's 11-11 to go in a period.
There you go. Latter stages of this second period, still 1-0. If you're just joining us, it was a Butler Chesson goal all the way back midway through the first period that got the scoring started. It was an unassisted goal on a pass that he intercepted in the defensive zone, or I should say in GBS's defensive zone. Short breakaway, and he buried it past Winger.
Yeah, both goalies have had some great saves. You talk about Butler Chesson, and you could tell from the get-go he was flying up and down the ice. Talk about that deadline acquisition of him on this New Trier team. It's crazy how much talent they're able to produce and generate from this program, and he is definitely one of the better ones that we've seen over the few years, Max.
Speaking of guys, New Trier still in the lead in shots, 21-14.
Yeah, this has been a possession-dominated period by New Trier. They've put a lot going here towards GBS. Sherwood trying to change that dynamic here with a lot of space. 2-on-1. Shot! And a save from Schmidt. Hasn't had to make many of late. Makes that one.
If I'm GBS, I'd like Sherwood to move that over. I couldn't tell who the other forward he had with him driving that center lane, but that's a great opportunity to try and create some havoc in that slot in front of Schmidt. Dylan.
Yeah, Wes, I was going to say the same thing. That was Casper Wojula, his line mate there on that right side.
Yeah, you see Wojula ends up on top of Schmidt. You think if that puck is centered over, maybe, anything can happen. Maybe hits a foot, maybe hits a stick. Some crazier things have happened, guys. Just find that puck behind Schmidt there.
Folks, don't go anywhere between the second and third period. We'll take a short timeout, and then we'll have our annual State of the SHL. We'll have SHL President and GBN head coach Evan Polakidis on the broadcast. Talk everything SHL and what a historic year we've had in the league. Obviously at the state level, 7 of the 8 state finalists from the SHL. Record viewership here on the network, so plenty to catch up with. SHL President Evan Polakidis here between periods. Freemuth, he gets tripped up. And that'll be cleared by the Trevians. Icing is going to bring it right back into the Trevian zone.
Max, you talk about 7 of the 8 Final Four teams coming from this great league. 70% of the teams ended up in the top 8 is just remarkable. As we hear Sam Schwartz say the attendance for tonight, I got to agree with you, Max. I think it's a little bit higher than that. We're not at full capacity, but it's still pretty tight in here.
I've heard that this barn holds 1,200, and I'd say we're definitely more than a third full here at Centennial. I'll have to have a word with Sam Schwartz on his attendance. I'll call it a guesstimation. Here's Finger trying a pass across ice, rolls off his stick, and Lochran able to clear. Lochran didn't have any options as a couple of Titans were going for a change, so he'll just toss it back into the neutral zone. Rabinowitz, Sherwood, Hennigan, Lochran, Smith. 5, 6, 7 bodies here. Centering pass, backhanded shot from Cheris, just has it poked off his stick. Now Hennigan centering pass to Smith, rolls off, and he fires a quick wrist shot right into the belly of Winger.
Yeah, Winger making a lot of difficult plays look easy, just holding his post there. Get a replay. I love that we have these 2 goal cams, Max. You know, the goalie and me just love seeing these replays.
I called Jimmy. I said, if Wes is going to do color, we have to have 2 goal cams. And he said, okay, we'll do it.
Jimmy the Wiz, the technical director, making everything happen behind the scenes.
Here's Jason, his shot to flex off his stick. Wojula able to just chip it out of the zone. Final 60 seconds of the period incoming.
Max, I know you've stepped on the technical director role once or twice. I'd like to see Jimmy pick up a headset one of these times.
I see a wry smile from Jimmy and a firm shake of the head.
I think Jimmy would do a great job as we get
I think Jimmy could do some color. He knows hockey.
Yeah.
He would step in just fine with 52 to go here.
Arguably, anyone out of our whole group, he's watched it the most there with the 2 screens behind me and Max.
No, Max, I'm talking about play-by-play. If we're going to get Jimmy behind the mic, I'd like that.
Dylan, that's tough. I don't even think I could do play-by-play, so that might be a big ask. I think Jimmy would be a great color guy, though.
Comes back to Douthit, fires it across ice. Butler Chesson leaves for Snow. Right back to Chesson. Look at the rhythm between those 2. Good stick check from Sokol. Takes it off the stick of Chesson, but able to keep it going. Here's Aiton Green. Skates wide. Tries to get a shot off. Sprawling is Almberg. A quick whistle as, stop me if you've heard this before, but the net of Luke Winger is off.
See him try to calm down the crowd, and as a goalie, I kind of feel for him. You're using those posts to push off, trying to create some momentum going across the crease, and it can come off a lot easier than it looks. See it very harmless as he just recovers to the post. I think at this level they should have the mornings that we see close to the NHL that drill into the ice so the net doesn't move as much.
Here's a shot well over the net of Winger in the final 20 seconds of the period. Sokol, rink wide to Freemuth. Freemuth around one man, can't get around to second. Final 3 seconds of the period. Douthick going to try to get one more shot off, but Band gets in the way of that. Buzzer sounds. That's the end of 2 periods here from Centennial Ice Arena in the SHL championship game right here on the SHL Network. 1-0 the score. We'll take a quick timeout. Come back with our interview with SHL and president and GBN head coach Evan Polkiewicz in just a moment right here on your home for SHL Hockey, YouTube Live.
The Chicago Bulls return to Allstate Arena this Saturday night and Sunday afternoon.
Here's Cromwell in. He shoots.
And they're going green at both games with their St. Patrick's Day themed jerseys.
A tip out in front.
Bring the entire family to the Wolves game.
Tips one off by Green. McKechnie shoots and scores.
The Chicago Wolves return to Allstate Arena this Saturday and Sunday. Get your tickets today.
Welcome back live here on the SHL Network, joined with SHL President and GBN Head Coach Evan Polkiewicz. Evan, thank you for coming on, and appreciate, we have made this an annual tradition here for the SHL Championship, getting a chance to talk to you on the broadcast. I want to start first things first. First year in the league, Lake Forest, back to 10 teams in the SHL. Across the board, front to back, just kind of wanted to give you a chance to talk about the state of the SHL.
Well, I don't think we've ever had a year like this where the competitive level from top to bottom was as tough as it was. Every single game that you played in, you had to show up, and it was evident by our bottom team beating the top team in the state. I think over 20% of our league went into overtime for games. The excitement level of this year was really never before seen.
You talk about the excitement level on the ice, everything we've been able to do here at the SHL Network, part of J&M Media. We've seen record numbers on the stream. We've talked about 12 countries have viewed in, 20 states. The reach that this network and this league has, the growth over the last couple of years, started 10 years ago this year to see where it is now. Would you have ever thought?
Well, first of all, a big thank you to yourself and to Wes and to Jimmy, the way you guys have and Dylan, the way you guys have broadcasted and really have grown the broadcast. It's a must see. People from all over watch this, and I get text messages all the time. It's really grown into something that I don't, personally I didn't see happening, and it's just really great for the game. When we travel to out of state, people know the SHL, they know the SHL teams, they use it to promote various tournaments. I don't think besides Minnesota there's a better league in the Midwest.
We had Owen just on for a couple moments, of course, the J.J. O'Connor Player of the Year here in Illinois. Former AAA player, came back and played for his high school team. Talked about Adam Kazmarek, who had the great quote at the end of York's game against Loyola to get into the state championship. Talked about the game he played in was unlike any other, and that included AAA hockey. What does it mean to you to see all these players that have gone out and played select hockey coming back home and playing high school hockey for their schools?
Look, there's a place for AAA hockey. Unfortunately, I think we've expanded way too much in our state. There's a lot of players that should be playing high school hockey over AAA. Unfortunately, there's some things that are told to kids and they buy into it. Meanwhile, look, if you're good in this league, you're going to get scouted. So, we just had one of our other GBN players just sign a commitment to Lawrence University, Evan Eisenstark. We have another one playing at the University of New England that's in the Final Four of Division III. So, look, if you want to play hockey and enjoy your high school career, I think this is the place you play, is high school hockey. But unfortunately, we're overcrowded at the AAA level right now.
Well, always happy to bring people back. Always great to see the stories of people that come back, have amazing careers, people like Owen, people like Adam Kitzmerich. Always great for the league. Final thoughts, want to turn a little bit to hockey and what you've seen so far. Obviously, this SHL final we've been talking about, an odd dynamic, right? New Trier obviously wants to win the SHL final. That's a big game. They've got another big one on Sunday. What have you seen through 2 periods?
Well, the first thing I would say is, I know the sexy trophy is the state championship, but really, I think if you were to talk to the coaches, the hardest trophy to win in the state is the SHL championship. I think this is a perfect game that Glenbrook's playing. It's a slow game. They're not allowing New Trier. They've gone into their 1-2-2 trap, and Winger's freezing the puck down, and it plays to their strength. And, they're 1 goal down going into the 3rd period. They certainly have a shot.
Finally, looking ahead to Sunday for just a moment, we've got New Trier, of course. I believe it's their 20th appearance now in the state championship, and you've got York, a program that Matt Boeing took over 2 years ago, finds himself 2 years in the state championship for the first time in school history. What do you look for in that matchup?
Well, I think, just because we've been there, that first couple shifts, they have to stay in the game. And I mean York. The legs get really light and all of a sudden they don't feel like themselves. They got to get themselves right in the game because their strength is their forecheck. And if they could get pucks deep and forecheck hard like they normally do, I think they could extend that game. If they go down early, it could be a long night.
Well, you heard it right here. SHL President, GBN Head Coach Evan Polakidis, thank you for everything you've done this season for us, me, Jimmy, here at J&M Media and the SHL Network. Of course, the league that is now 10 years in existence. Wow. That was, I know you shake your head, kind of hard to believe that it's been 10 years. But thank you for everything. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll talk to you again next season.
All right. Thank you, guys. Yep. Appreciate it.
That's Evan Polakidis. We'll take another timeout, come back with 3rd period action here in just a couple of moments right here on your home for the SHL Championship, the SHL Network on YouTube Live. Welcome back. Third period action coming up here from Centennial Ice Arena. Third period action from Centennial Ice Arena coming up here in just a moment. Between periods, Wes, we got a chance to talk to President of the SHL and head coach of GBN, Evan Polikitis, just talking about the state of the league, the popularity as they travel to different tournaments. There's teams from out of state that know about the SHL because of the SHL network and how much this network's grown. Really cool anecdote.
Max, that makes everything that we do all worth it. You know what I mean? And so we see Nutria come back on the ice, and it's a nice compliment to us that it's as popular as it's become. You talk about record growth in terms of viewership, record growth in terms of, I think, even the fans that come to these things now. These atmospheres, compared to the last 2-3 years, I feel like just keep getting crazier and crazier. We talk about tonight on a short notice. This place is at 60-70% capacity. Almost 1,000 fans in the seats, so it's great to see this league grow year in and year out.
Yeah, we've talked about it before on the broadcast, all the close games, and it's no joke. It does feel like when we show up to broadcast a game under the proverbial bright lights, people show up. We, I believe, had one game the entire season on the SHL network that was more than a 3-goal game. I mean, we just had competitive, hard-hitting games, and it could be a product of just the competitiveness of the league, and also when the cameras come out, it seems like everybody shows up.
Max, I think it's a little combination of both that these kids love to produce when they've got the cameras on and they see us driving into the parking lot here.
So getting back underway here, we'll send it down to ice level where Dylan Ward standing by with Nutria head coach Adam Charis heading into this third period.
Thanks, guys. Coach, something we've been talking about a little bit on the broadcast is you guys having to play this game ahead of the state championship on Sunday. We've been talking about rest versus, kind of not being rusty. What's your take on all that?
It's a good question. We also thought about the same thing. Really ultimately having an 11-day break between the last game and the state would have been really tough. We love having a game like this. Another test for us, good test to get up and go in. Great opposition. We kind of thought GBS, so I've been there all year. So we're happy to have the game. It's a good test for ourselves. Make adjustments after.
You guys have beaten GBS 3 out of 4 games against them this season, have a 1-0 lead here heading into the third. What do you need to do to close it out?
Yeah, love how we're playing 5-on-5. We got to stay out of the box. They're a really good team. We know that. We don't want to give them opportunities. We feel 5-on-5, getting pucks deep, playing a really solid forecheck, should be in good shape.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys, back to you.
I think that's the right attitude, Wes. I really do. I think at this stage with high school players, you want that competitive game. You've got 4 days of rest coming here after this game. You've had a week coming into it. I think this almost lines up perfectly for Adam Charis.
Max, you talk about the rest over rust, and in hockey, such a game of flow where you want to have your legs. You talk about Butler Cheston and Landon Delthage, just snapping it around. Games like these become so pivotal when they get to Sunday, when they have their legs and they have their confidence. So, like we heard Coach Adam Charis talk about, they'll make adjustments afterwards, but they love to have this game speed and gameplay back here tonight.
17 minutes back up on the clock. Dylan Ward down at ice level. Wes Anderson up here in the booth with me. Max Anderson, your play-by-play broadcaster for the final 17 minutes of SHL hockey this season. Thinking it all the way back to October 5th. I was looking at the notes before tonight's broadcast. That was the first time Lake Forest had ever been on the SHL network. They actually got the upset win over Loyola that day in the first SHL network broadcast all the way back in early October.
Max, not so fast on the final period. These teams have gone to overtime twice already this season. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that again.
Very fair point. But going back all the way to October, over 20 games broadcasted of the SHL, including that Thanksgiving tournament right here on the SHL network, comes down to 1 for an SHL champion. 17 minutes or maybe more. We'll find out. Burton drops it below the goal to Almberg. Here's Ban. They haven't had much success. It's the similar formula we saw Nutria really suffocate Stevenson's exit in that state semifinal. Did a really good job offensively putting pressure on the opposite team's defense.
Yeah, it makes it just so hard to gain any momentum through the neutral zone as we see the Titans here struggle to just get this puck across their defensive blue line, and you see another fresh 5 bodies right back on this clean sheet for the Trevians. Just a relentless forecheck here early on in the third period.
Interesting to hear Adam Cheris talk about how much he liked his team playing 5-on-5, wasn't happy with a couple of the penalties that they were called for. Feels like if they stay full strength, they'll pull this one out as Cusick's shot went across the crease. I don't think Winger saw it till it was by him. Pops back out to Cusick at center ice. He'll toss it right back into the GBS zone. Rabinowitz a little bit of trouble handling the puck as he caught at the blue line. Here's a shot from Douthit. Olmberg got a piece of it, deflected wide of his cage. The entire period thus far played down in the Titan zone. Finally, Casper Wojala able to break out. Mulvey into the offensive zone, but as soon as it crossed the blue line, offsides the call here, just 80 seconds into the period.
Max, you talk about how great this Trevians team has been all year. 22-0-0 and taking a lead into the third period in SHL play. We see here early just swarming this Titan team in the neutral zone, making it nearly impossible to get that puck into the Trevians defensive zone.
You know, some of those stats, when you talk about after a first, after a second, with a lead, tied, all the rest, sometimes can be a bit of a red herring. Here's a shot, hitting past Winger. But when you talk about a big enough sample size of 20 games they've entered the third period without losing a game, I think that tells you a lot about this New Trier side.
It talks about how dedicated they are to making the little plays. You talk about them blocking shots early on in that first period. Expect them to do a ton of that here, help out Wyatt Schmidt, prevent anything as much as they can from getting on net here in the third.
Randall quickly chips it back out to center ice. Cheris trying to chip it into the offensive zone, but Steenstrup waiting for it. Trying to get some possession in the offensive zone. Finally able to carry it below the goal. Takes a check from Baker, and then again immediately cleared by the Trevians.
Max, I think they're going to be A-okay with doing that for 14 minutes and 22 seconds to ride themselves to another SHL championship. You see they're changing what seems like every 30 seconds, just getting fresh bodies and fresh legs on the ice again and again, and it's just making it impossible for this GBS team to set up anything positive in the offensive zone.
Ventura has the puck around his feet. Eventually Miller breaks out with it for the Trevians. Vanderplug had his own blue line, ready to stop the action there. David Wolf trying to use that big body to keep the play moving forward. Centering pass. Sokol waiting for it in the slot, clears it of danger. Vanderplug's exit, knocked down by Miller, will play on here in the offensive zone for the Trevians. Van, a quick pass, misses Freemuth in transition. Nolan, great saucer pass to Miller, but he couldn't handle it on the opposite side of the slot. Turned over. Van eventually chips it out to Freemuth. Gets by one man, not a second. Just suffocating are the Trevians right now, giving this GBS side zero space to operate.
Max, they're playing passive, but when they have opportunities, they're still jumping up and getting those opportunities on Winger. Not completely sitting back yet here with 13 minutes left in the third.
Chipped along as Butler Chesson gets into the offensive zone, tries to lower the shoulder, gets a pass across, scores! Landon Douthit waiting on the back door, makes it 2-0 New Trier.
And he comes all the way down to the Trevian faithful. This all starts with Butler Chesson. Draws two defenders in, and Douthit just wide open in front. Nothing Winger could do there on that goal.
You know, Landon Douthit gets credit for the goal, but the move by Chesson, he dips that shoulder, creates the angle, and it's just a little chip across. And Landon Douthit will happily cash the goal from his teammate.
You see him point right to Butler Chesson as well, knowing he created all of that. He's just the beneficiary of a great offensive play by his winger there.
Sherwood sticks a leg out on Jason. New Trier's bench wanted a tripping. They're not going to get it. Here's Lochran.
Heads up down there, Dylan. Another rogue puck going over those short It's that short class there near the neutral bench.
Guys, that was pretty far from me, but I still had to duck. It was just a natural reaction.
Yeah, I think if a puck was in a 10-foot span of me, I'm naturally flinching myself too.
Back underway here as Finger chips it out into the neutral zone, and GBS in a position they're not very accustomed to, or quite frankly that comfortable in, trailing by 2 goals. They're going to have to find a couple here in the last 12 minutes. They want a chance to win their first SHL championship.
Yeah, Max, to go off that point, GBS had the best goal differential in the third period out of any SHL team. That's actually only the 10th time they've allowed a goal in the final frame in conference play this season.
That is a remarkable stat. I think it's now over 30 games, including... Dylan, does that include the playoffs, or is that a regular season stat?
That includes the playoffs.
That is a remarkable stat. 10 goals in this league in over 30 games played. That's really impressive.
It helps when you have one of the best goalie, or I should say one of the best goalie in the league, backstopping that defense in Lucas Winger. But we see already this GBS team hungry after that second goal. They know they need to generate something here quick, trying to sustain some pressure here in the offensive zone.
Ventura keeps it going to Stevens below the goal, but Hennigan quickly takes it away. Quick touch pass. Ventura trying to make a play in on the net of Schmidt. The speed and skill of New Trier just not giving these Titans any time or space. Ventura chips along. Now Tyler Smith. You know, Wes, the other thing I wanted to mention, and Evan Polakidis talked about it during our interview between the second and third period. Obviously, here's Wojula. We'll get back to that thought in a second. Shot from Wojula, turned aside by Schmidt. Centering pass. Sherwood wasn't quite ready for it in the slot. Vanderploeg gets it back at the point. Here's shot turned aside. Mulvey trying to win it along the board. Sherwood keeps it in. Jason's just going to take an icing here, but we talked about before, obviously the allure of playing at the United Center for what's considered the state championship. Of course, your name goes down as a state champion. All of those things are huge allure. But if you want to talk the brass tacks of it, I actually completely agree with him. The harder trophy to win is this one, right?
Max.
You're playing the top teams in the state, all 8, to get to this point. This is the harder trophy to win.
Max, you talk about 7 of the 8 in the Elite 8 being from the SHL. Think about that being 27 games on your schedule that you have to fight and claw throughout the whole year. So I'd have to agree with you.
And typically we don't have a 1-game championship, just the way the schedule kind of fell this year and a bunch of other factors. We have a 1-game championship. But the fact, just to get to this point, you have to win 2 3-game series. So not only do you have to beat the other best teams in the state, you got to do it multiple times to get to this point.
Dylan.
Max, going off that point, I've heard some whispers about maybe a best 2 out of 3 series when you get to the Elite 8 and Final 4 of state for next season. Maybe, I'm not saying anything. I've heard some whispers.
I would like to see the budget allocation where that can come from, because I know that's the ultimate deciding factor on things like that. But I agree, Dylan. I think we've seen enough. I mean, a team like Stevenson, not that they weren't good last year, but they got red hot in those last couple games. And then were they probably the best team in the state? Yes, by the margin of 5-0 in a state championship game. I don't know about that, but it just comes down to 1 game, and they came that day.
Max, isn't it interesting that you say that? Because at the Tier 1 level, the state championship is actually a series best of 3, so something that I'd love to see here at the high school level too. Just have that atmosphere of, even if it's not at the United Center, if it's at the Edge for all 3 games. We saw last year how crazy that atmosphere was. Imagine having at least 1 more, if not 2 more of those games to decide the state champion would be incredible.
Yeah, I'd be all for maybe a game 1 being, I don't know. I'd have to think through. I don't want to think through this live on the air here, but I definitely think there's, to Dylan's point, I don't know where his sources come from, but certainly clued in as this shot deflects in. Freemuth completely tied up as he tried to get a rebound off. We get a whistle. Chaos in front of the net of Wyatt Schmidt.
Max, we've been talking about how great Lucas Winger has been all game, and what a save by Wyatt Schmidt. I don't think he sees that initial shot. As a goalie, your natural instinct is to go down, and that just hits him. Great positionally by Wyatt Schmidt, allowing him to make that save.
Here's a shot in from the point of Sokol. Steered wide. Cusick gonna drop this deep into the GBS zone. Time ticking here for GBS. Under 9.5 to go, trailing by 2 in this winner-take-all SHL championship game here from Centennial Ice Arena. Cusick steps across center ice, fires it in on Winger, who kicks it aside. Almberg collects. Grant Lochran. Here's Steenstrup with some speed. He gets ridden into the boards right by that outcropping that can cause a dangerous hit there. Centering pass just a little bit too hot from Stevens to Ventura. Douth it the other way. The speed of Douth as he splits the legs of Sokol. He gets a shot in. Well, he was awkwardly on one knee or thigh or some combination of body parts, but still got a shot off.
You can see he was trying his best to get to 2 feet. Thought he would probably had a great opportunity on Winger if he was able to corral that puck on his 2 feet, but just shows you the skill of both teams and able to make a little dipsy-do and find that puck in the high slot.
Here's Kitchell Snow, rink wide to Jason. Sokol settles, plays it wide. Sherwood trying to go around Jason. Centering, but nobody there for the Titans. Sokol one more time from center ice, fires it in deep. Holmberg settles at the point, has pressure from Smith, turns it over. Tyler Smith might have a breakaway. Holmberg trying to race back to get there, he does enough. Shot from Smith, just misses the cage. And Wojula clears the zone for GBS. They're going to take it icing, is a little bit out of sorts here with 7:25 to go.
Yeah, Max, expect with 7 minutes and change here in the third as we get a great another look at that last attempt by Douthit. You can see he was just trying to get to his feet, and Tyler Smith there, great pull-up, just misses that post. Again, me loving these goalie cams to get a great shot from behind, get a little bird's eye view of what Winger's seeing coming at him.
I'd argue it's a goalie's eye view.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know. I was trying to look for the right word there. I think that's
goalie's eye view,
a term we can coin here on the SHL network.
As Band tried to make a play around Cusick, stepping in the way of that is the captain for New Trier. The other way patiently is Miller. That's offsides, and I think Freemuth with a little bit of frustration. I think he knew that whistle was coming, but felt like he had an opportunity to take a shot.
Yeah, you can see Henry Miller throw his head up like, come on, man. I knew I was offside trying to bring it back on there. Ref blows it dead. Just a little the game within the game there down on the ice that you see.
You get to this point in the season, these players know each other so well. They've played against each other for so long. Some of these guys in multiple sports. Of course, a lot of multi-sport athletes out here on the ice. And a few lacrosse players for GBS. I believe, Dylan, when we talked about it during Game 3 of the GB and GBS, did you say there were 7 lacrosse players on this GBS team?
I believe it's
7 sport athletes.
7 spring sport athletes. I believe it's either 5 or 6 lacrosse players, including Luke Winger, a lacrosse goaltender. He's committed, just like Jason Band, to play some college lacrosse at Lemoyne.
So a lot of talented athletes out here on the ice, and great celebration here in this championship game. GBS looking to create some drama, but to this point, it's been as impressive a defensive effort from New Trier as we've seen all season.
Yeah, expect the Titans defense to start activating here to generate a little bit more offense from that back end.
Just finishing the point from earlier, a lot of these guys played a lacrosse game last night before this one for the GBS lacrosse team. That's why the SHL final, we didn't know if it was going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on the team.
Shot from Smith, deflected up into the netting. Sokol gets in the way, but I'm sure no one will say it, but that can't be easy. You know, though, for guys like Winger, guys like Jason Band, and the rest of these spring sport athletes, just how important it was to finish out their hockey career.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You could see right before this third period, there's a nice little group huddle in front of Luke Winger. You could tell that these seniors are really soaking it all in here.
Shot from Randall, gets all the way through to Winger. Pad save, and he'll drop the glove on it with 5:53 to go in the third.
Yeah, to continue on that as play got started there. You could tell they're soaking it in, and they know that they're down to some of their last minutes, some of their last competitive hockey that they're going to play in their career and their lives, and I know they've cherished it. You've got two great head coaches in Adam Cheris and Jimmy Philbin guiding both teams and these kids all year, and I know they're just appreciative of the opportunity they've had to play in this game, play in this league, and represent their school.
It's been, we talked about, a banner year here in the SHL, on the ice, in the broadcast booth, in the media. Following continues to grow. Here's a 2-on-1 for GBS. Wojula in the slot. Sharp angle, still bouncing around. Mulvey whiffed on the second chance. He gets sandwiched between two Trevians, but able to keep the play alive. Sherwood, top of the near circle, whiffs on the shot. And finally, GBS gets a couple of offensive looks here. Almberg takes a blindside hit. That's going to be a penalty. And so GBS with a quick flurry there, 30 seconds, they're going to head to the power play. A little bit of shot of life here for the Titans.
Yeah, it's great to see Almberg get up there. Took a nasty hit there as he tries to keep that puck in. And GBS, great opportunity, 5 minutes left, can create a ton of momentum here with a quick goal. We've got 2 minutes to operate. Wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Philbin pulls Winger here to get that extra attacker. Dylan.
Guys, the bench down here has been really quiet over the last 2-3 minutes of game time, but all the guys erupted with screams after that penalty was called, or really after the hit, so they're feeling a little energy right now.
But not able to get this possession off the draw, and it's cleared. About as close to a must-score power play here for GBS, who on the season 5th square in the middle in the SHL at 18.3% on the power play. You mentioned for New Trier, that penalty kill, the one bugaboo in the league, but so far tonight, obviously clean.
You say the one bugaboo. They're only, 2 percentage points behind GBS. Just shows you how tight this league really is. From 1 to 6, it's a handful of goals that scored on this Trevians PK that really separates the top from the mid-pack. But you can see here, again, 30 seconds into this PK, just how aggressive they are.
1:20 to go on the power play. Takes a fortunate GBS bounce to the stick of Band, but he can't keep it going. Comes out to Sokol, and the Titans have to clear another. Was that an awkward bounce, or just Schmidt expecting a wrap around the boards? I frankly took my attention away.
It looked like it might have hit somebody that was changing off the New Trier bench. That was a...
Guys, I didn't get the best angle of it, but I think that just hit a funny stanchion here on my near side, right by the New Trier bench, and that puck was going right into the net if Wyatt Schmidt didn't have that awareness to get back.
We had that in the first period, and he didn't get a piece of it, but it was about a foot wide of that far post. That one was definitely on net. Is blockered away by Schmidt, kept in at the point by Almberg. Rabinowitz gets it, turns, fires down ice one more time. 30 seconds to go on the power play.
Guys, something as a goalie that you take notes on. You know, if that puck is getting reamed around that right side boards, maybe you're staying in the net, making sure.
I mean, either boards, right? The one in the first period was on the near side boards on our side. That one was on the far boards. It's all the boards at this point.
Guys, tough break for the Titans as the ref calls a high stick as soon as they grab the puck, so they're going to have to take a D-zone face-off here.
Able to win it cleanly, trying to get one more chance up the ice on the power plays. Callahan, Statenstrip coming up the slot, but that pass towards the middle was deflected behind the New Trier goal and cleared once more.
Yeah, you guys talk about how New Trier Green doesn't normally play their home games here, so they're not accustomed, especially as a goalie, to how these boards react. So you see a few times Wyatt Schmidt just scrambling back in his net.
You hear the faint bang of the stick from Winger in the background, indicating the end of the power play here. Back to full strength of the Trevians. And we'll keep an eye on that Luke Winger goal with 3:07 to go here in the third. Probably only a matter of moments.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised in the next 30 to 45 seconds if head coach Jimmy Philbin pulls a goalie. Max, you're saying for a timeout. I think it might be a little early. Maybe if you can get another whistle in the next 30 seconds to a minute, call it. We see Winger talking to the bench right now.
Also, you can see the GBS Titans have their third line out right now with Seenstrup, Stevens, and Callahan. So, maybe you want to wait to call the timeout after the first line takes a shift to get them rested up.
All right, guys, you don't have to yell at me at once. I agree with you. These are all good points. Here's Callahan from a sharp angle. I don't think Schmidt was expecting a shot on net. Lochran stops, waits, shoots. He scores! Grant Lochran gets GBS back within one.
Hold the phone, guys. We've got some drama with less than 3 to go.
What a patient play by Grant Lochran. You see a lot of defensemen, Wes, just fire the puck and it ends up going right into the charging forward skates. He waited. If we could back that up just a little bit more, Jimmy, on that replay. He hesitated for a second, cleared the shooting lane. You can see it here, that little hesitation there, and buries it over the blocker of Schmidt.
Guys, Grant Lochran is not a guy who scores a lot of goals, but one of the best two-way players for the Titans. I believe he has something like 18, 19 assists on the season, but that's just his second goal in SHL play this season.
And Dylan, both in the playoffs, right? Had no regular season goals for this GBS. He's got 2 here in the playoffs.
Until the overtime series clincher against St. Viator.
So now we're going to have a scramble here at the end. I think this was the ending we were all hoping for. We didn't think this one should go off into the night. An easy 2-0 win for New Trier. They're going to have to earn it here in the last 2:30. Ban has his angle cut off as he takes the puck into the zone. Chipping it out, but again, Grant Lochran able to keep it in. Ventura's shot deflects, still bouncing around the crease. Loose right in front of Schmidt, but no Titan could follow up. Lochran keeps it in, squares, shoots, another big save, follow-up shot, and Schmidt keeps it out. Freeman takes a huge hit. He wanted a penalty. He's not going to get one with 2 minutes to go. Finally cleared. Here's Finger. Lochran again. Cuts off the angle, and what a last 5 minutes, let alone this entire game that Grant Lochran's had.
Yeah, he's really provided a ton of energy. And Max, can you feel the vibe in this arena just take a complete 180? The fans to our right for New Trier are loud again. We see GBS very aggressive in the offensive zone as they try and break this puck out of their own zone.
So now valuable seconds winding off the clock. Kitchell Snow, really smart play. He could have fired it towards net. Sherwood could have blocked it and led to an odd man rush the other way. That's an experienced play by Kitchell Snow.
You can hear some stick taps from the New Trier bench for Kitchell Snow, making the unselfish play of just dumping that down. You see there Cusick doing the exact same thing, making GBS go the full 200 feet.
Now a minute to go here in regulation, and GBS cannot get the puck out of their own zone. I think pretty much as soon as they cross center ice, Winger will leave. Can't do it again as Rabinowitz steps in front of this one. Almberg with a big hit on Rabinowitz. As that puck, I believe it's chipped right in on Winger with 48 to go.
Max, I also lost the puck there too. As we get a replay, Wyatt Schmidt just battling in front. 2 great saves, trying to track that puck with all types of traffic in front of him. And Max, that's what I was saying before, is Jason Ban, what a right pad save. Wyatt Schmidt keeping his team in the lead here late in the third. But Max, I was saying before how GBS, their MO is to drive deep, hit those point men, try and create some shots from the point, and that's exactly how they get that first goal. We saw a little bit of an own screen in front of Wyatt Schmidt trying to track that puck, but he's responded quite well with 2 or 3 great saves in the last 30 seconds.
48 to go. Timeout called down in the GBS huddle. Jimmy Philbin giving some impassioned instructions to his team. Meanwhile, New Trier, we talked about the streak they're trying to go on here. Thanksgiving tournament, regular season SHL champions. Next step would be an SHL playoff. They're the SHL Cup champions. I believe it's the Scholastic Cup champions.
Guys, also when I rattled those off earlier, I almost forgot the Cactus Cup down in Arizona. New Trier won that as well.
That's great. That's great journalism by our guy down there, Dylan Ward, on the bench. And you know that's something that Adam Cheris is talking about to his team. Finish the job. You got 48 seconds. Hard on the pucks. got to get in shooting lanes, everything, the little things that we've talked about all game. That's really what head coach Adam Cheris for the Trevians was harping to his team in that timeout.
Allenberg takes possession on the faceoff. Trying to break the puck out, but an errant pass is Freemuth. Pestered by Chesson. Up to Sherwood, across to Allenberg. Winger inching towards the net. There goes Winger as the puck fired in deep. 6 attackers on the ice for the Titans in the final 30 seconds. Good deflection from Rabinowitz. Gets it back out to neutral ice. Douthit trying to seal it. That's going to be offsides against New Trier. That's actually a smart play by Landon Douthit. It's going to force Winger back in his net.
Max, what a stick by Joey Rabinowitz. Might have saved a potential goal as that Titans defender was creeping in towards that tops of the circles, and like you said, that puck comes out of the zone, forces Winger back in the net. Only 17 seconds in the third.
You see Winger between the circles right now, a good 20 feet out of his net. They've got to hurry. They've got to win this draw. They're not able to, but at least able to get across to Allenberg. That's going to be an icing. Ill-advised there from 6-8. No call for some reason. That's a huge break for the Titans. Final 5 seconds. Now it's trapped against the board. The Trevians are going to win the Scholastic Cup here in 2023. Wire to wire, the #1 team in the state, regular season SHL champions, Scholastic Cup winners here tonight in the one-game championship. Trophy presentation to come. Do want to take just a moment. The GBS Titans, their season is over. We've talked a couple of times on this broadcast and previously. The historic run this group of seniors led this GBS team to. And that is the end of their Titan hockey career. Legends for sure, a group that will be remembered for a long time at GBS.
Max, 100%, and you know, walking or playing all the way up to that #3 team in the state, #2 team here in the SHL is a hell of a feat for them to hang their hats on, and something to be proud of. I know Jimmy Philbin is a great coach and is able to produce so many of these great players that have been so proud to wear that GBS sweater. Just tough for them that tonight is the way their career ends.
For New Trier, they get, I think, exactly the tune-up they wanted right here in this SHL final. They got to skate hard. They got pushed hard by this Titan team, pushed to a 1-goal game by the end of it, and really had to fight there at the end. I don't think you could have scripted this any better for Adam Cheris. A close game, things to review, got the win. Attention turns to Sunday.
Yeah, Max, they came out flying too. A lot of speed, a lot of flow for them. Their offense is clicking again. If it wasn't for Lucas Winger, I don't know, maybe 2-3 more goals could be up on the scoreboard here. So a lot of positives to take away from this game if you're the coaching staff for the Trevians. And on the opposite side, a few things to clean up before they head to the United Center on Sunday to try and cap off a historic and legendary season for this Trevians team.
We've got Dylan Ward down on ice level. He just looks like he's flagged down Landon Douthit. Oh, looks like we're not quite going to send it down yet. So we're going to have the trophy presentation here in just a moment with Evan Polikitis. So we'll turn it over to public address announcer Sam Schwartz. presentation of the trophy. So winding down our SHL season here is all the players taking pictures with the Scholastic Cup. We talked about the difficulty in winning that trophy. And you see the players, they want their time, they want their pictures with that cup.
I was going to say, I wonder if they have a day with the cup, similar to how they do it with the Stanley Cup. Not sure if Evan Putakaitis and the rest of the SHL would allow that.
So they've got Dylan Ward down on ice level. He's flagged down Landon Douthit. Dylan, take it away.
Thanks so much, Max. Landon, you get the game winner here in the SHL final. A tight game, a close game. You guys come out on top 2-1. How are you guys feeling?
Feeling pretty good, you know. We're glad to get this win, you know, done with, I guess. Our big focus is Sunday now, you know. It's a massive game. Really looking forward to playing in the UC. You know, that's been our goal all season, to go there and take home that trophy. That's what we're focused on now.
Well, that's not the only trophy you guys have won this season. Preseason Invitational way back in September.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Tournament, SHL regular season, even the Cactus Cup down in Arizona. Now the SHL trophy. One more, you just alluded to it. What are you going to do to get ready for Sunday?
You know, we have great leadership. We have great coaches on this team. We've had the right mentality on how to, you know, go after those trophies all season. You know, not getting too confident, not getting too egotistical on the team. Kind of just playing as a team. We're all brothers. We all love each other. There's not a single guy on the team I want to take a bullet for, and you know, they'd all say the same. You know, it's just a brotherhood, you know, and we want to go out there and take it all.
All right. Well, congratulations on the SHL crown. We'll see you at the United Center Sunday.
Appreciate it.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. That will do it for us here on the SHL Network. A wrap on the SHL season here from Centennial. Once again, congratulations to the New Trier Green Trevians on their Scholastic Cup victory. I want to thank our great crews. We always do. We had Gerard Boris stepping in on camera duty. Big thank you to him as we were a bit shorthanded. Of course, he does great work on the GBS radio network, so appreciate him hopping over here on the SHL Network with us. We had Charlie Cannon from New Trier student, stepping in and helping us out as our technical engineer number 2, handling all things scoreboard. So big thank you to him and his work on the broadcast. Of course, Jimmy the Wiz Olsen getting it done like he always does here at J&M Media, all the sites, graphics, replays, setting all this up. Folks, it doesn't happen without Jimmy the Wiz. Dylan Ward down on ice level, bringing you the interviews and the sideline sound. Wes Anderson, my color broadcaster. I am Max Anderson. Thank you so much for tuning in with us all season long here on the SHL Network. One more day to go. We'll have it live from the United Center Sunday, 3:30, New Trier and York for a state championship. Until then, we bid you good evening. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you on Sunday.